All right, what's going on, traders? This is Alex from Boss Crypto. Don't forget, if you want access to our exclusive trading academy, we have opened up a limited amount of seats completely free for 30 days. So head over to bosscrypto.co or click the link in the description and get access to our free trial today. Hope you guys enjoy the video. So per usual this week, I'm going to be bringing an update on Bitcoin, and we can quickly chat about some of my alt trades recently and just kind of state of the market. All right. Not much has really changed in the last week or so since our last update here, but we'll do the old top-down analysis anyways, just to make sure the YouTubers get a little update. All right, so starting out on the monthly here, we do have our cycle, as we've talked about all month, kind of flatlining here, which makes sense because there's a lot of uncertainty in price action. When we zoom in here, we're going to see we have this big breakdown on the daily, just followed by a bunch of sideways, which right now looks kind of bearish short term. But when we start to look at the location of this on the long term, I mean, we've retraced after a massive bull pump up to 14K. We retraced not quite halfway, but I bet from a fib perspective, yeah, we're past the 50% retrace, and we got close to the 618, and I think we still have a chance to break down to that level. But, you know, nothing's guaranteed. I think if you guys were buyers with us back here and here, the first time we hit 74, and then you sold some when we sold some up here, then this is kind of a no-brainer to buy back. You know, down 45% in a Bitcoin bull market, plus finding support at the 8, which is that teal moving average. Historically, it's been a pretty good bet in the bull run to buy at the 8, right? When you're trending above it. When you're trending below it, it tends to be resistance, but when you're above it, it tends to be support. So we've got that going for us. And likewise, albeit we've only got a couple bull markets to really go off of, but historically, when Bitcoin's been down a drastic amount in a bull market, you know, 30, 40, 50%, it's been a pretty good buy. That doesn't mean we can't go down more than that. No, it's possible. And, you know, this pump, we were trending above the 8, and we tried to hold, and we failed. And we got this little mini bear market here. And so if we can't hold somewhere in this 7,500, 6,800 range, and we close below it, like we did with this bad boy, we're probably going to have to enter a little bit of a mini bear market again. But we can talk a little bit more about that as we go into the weekly here. And you'll see, just like we're holding long-term support on the monthly at the 8, that lines up with our long-term support on the weekly at the bands. And yeah, you can see, you know, we have never broken down from this region in a bull market and not re-entered bear market, right? Break down, downtrend, consolidate for a while. Break down, downtrend, consolidate for a while. Break down, downtrend, consolidate for a while, and then on to it. So it's possible if we can't hold this level that we'll have to do that again. And it kind of makes sense. You know, we can see the 8 on the weekly, that after getting above it here, you know, we barely even tested it right there. But until here, we didn't really even test it, let alone finding support down below it to give us somewhere to stop on the way up. Oh, excuse me. And so it's really, you know, anyone's best guess where we'll land if we break this level. I think we'll stop somewhere near pi on the daily, which is around 7,000 right now. And that lines up with the 200 and pi on futures as well. And in addition to that, we've got this potential support at 7,400. We've got this potential support at like 72, which could range all the way down to 62-ish. And then you've got this lower high we dumped from near 65. You've got, you know, the old floor at 6 to 5.8. You got this consolidation region from 4 to 5.5. You know, it's just like, it's a whole block of potential areas that you could bounce from. And so, you know, outside of long-term buys, like we're seeing on the weekly, you know, if you sold well, buy some back. And I bought some back the first day we dumped at 8,200 to 8,500. And I'm still long on that. But, you know, when we zoom in here, what are our EMA bands doing on the daily, right? They're trending down. And so until we can get back above those, we're still in a downtrend. Now, if we get some big pop above it and then we start to form a higher low, that's a pretty clear long to me. Likewise, if we get back above 9 at all, even if the bands were still coming down, if we get back above 9, it's go time. I'll buy every single dip. And it might mean, whenever it happens, it might mean that it happens really, really, really quickly. Kind of like on a shorter time frame. If we zoomed in a little bit, it'd make more sense. But kind of like back here, when you broke down, you got below the bands, you consolidated, and then in 1, 2, 3, 4 days, you were down 40% from the high, and in 4 days, you came back up within 1% of it. Okay, and it's okay to have, had your stops with higher lows and then exit out. Then you get, just like now, you get a nice big discount and then you get a nice setup. It makes sense to buy some. Now, at this point, this was still a downtrend, right? If we zoomed in on this, it would look like this. Albeit, this candle gets taken out here, which is that first higher high on the lower time frame. But only once you got above these key lower highs with this big juicy candle, only then was it really game on. And then the dip after it, right there, you get the engulfing setup. That's a clear, easy 10% risk. You can throw in 20% of the account on that setup. 2% max risk. You probably get another one too. You do. You get an engulfing setup here. And one right there as well. And you can see we're just making higher lows into that resistance and pop. Easy as that. And really, if you're nibbling here, that's fine, but that's probably the majority of people's best bet is to wait to see if we go further down, if we just go sideways, whatever. Wait until we get back above this region, at least 9. And then if we start W bottoming, you can make some long entries there. If we form an ascending triangle, whatever it may be, there should be some pretty clear-cut, confident long setups up there, as opposed to right now where it's like, yeah, it could be the bottom, but it could also be a very long-term breakdown and then just a bear flag after it. And now we're breaking down from that. We can see that on a lot of the other majors too, like Bcash looks pretty horrendous. Litecoin, pretty much the same pattern across all the altcoins except ETH. Ethereum's trying to hold its current lows, but even then you can see it's still it's like the battle of the bear flag and the short-term falling wedges. Right, we're trying to get that bigger pop, but unless BTC does it, most other coins, the majors, are probably not going to do it. Right? So, game plan, how I'm playing this is I've got some BTC shorts with stops above 8,500. And I added those right around 8,400. So those are my current shorts on BTC. And I also have a short hedge on Bcash because, the USD pair is almost certainly going to follow Bitcoin if it tumbles down. So really good risk reward here. I added it like 220 right in here. And I got a nice tight stop above 230. That's 4%, and I'm using 3 times leverage, so about 12% risk. And the next support, if we fail here, is like 20%, so 60% on 3 times leverage, 12% risk, 50 to 60% gains. I love that risk reward, especially when we're in a downtrend, especially for Bcash. Yes, on BTC in a downtrend, but this is even more clearly. We failed to hold this higher low. Now we failed to hold this higher low. Now we failed to hold this higher low, right? Bcash is just in a very clear downtrend. Now, at some point, you'll be wrong, but you only have to be wrong one time. And once you're wrong, you can flip back long on the dips. That's kind of how I'm treating it. And I'm still 35% BTC in case we just rip out of here, right? And most of that was bought from back here. Everything I bought above 9,000 is gone now. Okay. And with that, I'm also hedged short. And that's really the game plan, right? Until we either test pi, until we can take out 8,800-ish. Short-term bearish. Long-term bullish. Okay? So that's the state of Bitcoin right now. Now, I had some other trades going on as well, like DigiByte. I've been trading around, and I stopped out of that recently. Hopped in here at like 94 on this higher low. Took some profits at like 102, and then I stopped out the rest at 101 just to be really tight here on the stops. You know, we might continue to pop up here, right? And if it can hold right in here and get an engulfing setup, I might add again to DigiByte because that's a pretty popular coin. And we've seen a lot of coins lately get above the bands, make a couple higher lows, and then pop to the 200. For example, Doge already did it. Hopped in at 26 on the first breakout, got filled at 24 here, and then took our first wave of profits up here, 30, 40%, something like that. And then you raise your stops somewhere in profits, and it's free money. And that's what I've been doing with Doge. Might even pop up to 40 sat range if BTC chills out. And then, you know, I'm still praying. I sold about half, but I'm still praying I can sell the other half above 100 sats. Here's hoping. So, yeah, Doge looks good. A lot of other stuff looks really shitty. ChainLink, you know, looks okay. Might still need that pullback to 25K sats. I'm not sure. Whenever Link makes the higher low, it's probably going to lead to a higher high. That'd be my guess. When it does make it, if it's in here, if it's down here, the consolidation after is probably going to lead to a higher high. That's what I'm guessing, as long as Bitcoin's not completely ruining the show. So that dip should be viable on ChainLink for sure. Oh, yeah, basic attention token. That's another one looking really good. Trying to gun for that 200. Made a higher low here near the 8 last time. If I could get a deeper dip back towards that level, I'd absolutely be a buyer on BAT. TNT looks really good. I mean, that's a long-term breakout on TNT right there. This shit is gonna rip. Probably another 50 to 100%. That looks amazing. XRP is on its way to 4,000. Still long that. 0x looks really good. Kind of coming into resistance here. That still looks strong. I'll probably still be a buyer on dips. This might actually be the setup right now. This might be the higher low right here. Let's see what the daily looks like. The daily's still a little extended, but this is how it's been on 0x since back here, right? It's been kind of extended. You get these really small dips in the cycle, small dips in price, only holding the 8, or sorry, only retracing to the 8. So it's possible we just continue that trend, but it's kind of like that. I kind of want the deeper pullback just because it's been going up for a bit now, but regardless, the trend is your friend until it's not. So these 4-hour setups are still very much tradable until you take out these higher lows. And that goes for a lot of coins right now. Solve. I'm thinking about buying the dip on Solve. I bought some back here on this setup, and I stopped out and just forgot about it. And there wasn't even really a clear setup. You know, you broke out in one candle up like 30%, and you just rocketed basically every candle after that. So I missed that one, but might add on the pullback. Mana looks okay. I don't know. A lot of the coins right now in the alt market look pretty damn identical. Oh, I missed Nexus. Dude, how did I miss that? Wow, that was a great move. That's another one to keep your eye on, guys. Nexus. That could be some good competition for Ethereum. If we get a pullback below 3,000, I might try and hit that one actually really hard. Yeah, I like that. I think I like that one. Nexus, 0x, DigiByte. Those are the main ones I'm looking at now. Yeah, Arc. Arc looks pretty good. This shit just broke out of like 4-month consolidation. So I would not think that it was breaking out of that for a 50% gain. Right? I'm guessing this bitch is going to go up to 50 to 100% gains. Arc looks good. Ambrosus on the pullbacks. A lot of good potential alt trades as long as BTC can stay range bound. Then should be some good plays. but it looks like it wants to dump. So that's why I'm raising my stops on Doge, on, well, I guess just Doge for now. Doge, and why I'm opening shorts on some of the majors. Okay, so yeah, that's the game plan. Short BTC, short Bcash, short term. Still long some alts. And we're looking for that dip to pi. Oh yeah, my cash. So my cash position, minus like 25% of it, is in laddered bids down to pi. From 7,500 down to 6,800. Laddered bids in cash, hoping to get some kind of scam wick, maybe even down to 6,000 this level. So that's what my cash is doing. I think we've covered everything now. Cash, BTC, long, short, all that good stuff. All right, yeah. So that's going to do it for this update. If you guys have any further questions, if you have anything you want to chat about, anything about BTC, alts, you know it, you guys can always find me in the chat. And if you stayed this long in the video, if you guys watched all of this, we know you're going to fit in perfectly with our 320 traders and investors already enrolled in the academy. So head over to bosscrypto.co or click the link in the description, and I'll see you guys there. Take care.